Welcome to my review of the LEGO Star Wars 2025 May 4th promo. Set 40765 with 190 pieces. The Kamino training facility technically has no retail price, although if you find it on LEGO.com, you'll see they do value it at $30. However, you won't actually be able to buy it for that price because this is a promotional gift with purchase for May the 4th, 2025 that you have to spend $160 or more to get for quote-unquote free. We'll come back to the pricing and value near the end of the review, but the box art is very cool, showing the KE-8 Enforcer hovering around, watching the clone cadets as they train on Kamino with a couple of the included training facility builds. Now, I do have a slight issue with the box art in that they are using the Clone Wars key art. This is absolutely an Episode 2 set that frankly only probably came out this year because of the UCS Jango Fett's Slave 1 release, and on the LEGO.com website it says it's an Episode 2 set, so it should have that Darth Vader box art that the Obi-Wan Starfighter has as an Attack of the Clones set, and not the Clone Trooper art with the yellow stripe. I also wish they'd add the May 4th logo to these boxes because I think it add a ton of aura to them, but those are just some minor packaging gripes, but packaging is certainly part of the experience, so I gotta mention it. The rest of the box is pretty cool though, with the back showing off some of the functions of the set, and that brings us to the unboxing, where you're gonna find just a couple of numbered bags, nothing special, and a regular instruction manual, like, yeah, run-of-the-mill stuff here. Hopping into the minifigs, these are technically the first May 4th minifigs that we've had since the 2022 Lars Homestead set, so it's been a minute, and these really deliver. They look so good with dual molded legs and arm printing. I just can't believe a gift with purchase for LEGO Star Wars has gotten this kind of great treatment. These also check another box for me for these May 4th promos, where I do really prefer it to be something unique and not something boring like Hoth Han Solo or a slight variation of a First Order Stormtrooper. Like, when you can do cool stuff like this, it makes your theme cooler. It makes people enjoy your stuff more. And so I just love that we've got the Clone Cadet here, of course, for the first time ever in LEGO Star Wars history. They first showed up back in 2002. It's been a long time, and we're finally getting them here. And of course, you're not only getting one like you would have in those original May 4th promos, you're getting 3 here. So like, this is a better way to do a May 4th promo where you're getting 3 of the same figure. So I just think it's incredible. If you didn't notice, they've all got different weapons in their hand. They share, of course, the same standard Clone Trooper face that we've seen for 5 years at this point, but a very nice face at that. And the hairpiece is the same as the Jango Fett from the UCS Slave 1, which of course makes a ton of sense here. It's just nice to see that accurate consistency across those two sets. Now, that brings us into the builds, of which there are 3 in this set, and we'll look at the actual training facility builds first, with this little turret and it's like a weapons rack and also a barrier. I think it's pretty neat that they included a couple more extra weapons on top of the ones that you already have in your Clone Trooper hands to clip onto the barrier / weapons rack. And the barrier's a really simple build, but I think it gets the job done and it fits the vibe. It goes very nicely with the turret, which the clones are of course training against, and the turret's just got 4 standard blasters. I'm kind of surprised they didn't try to stick on a stud shooter or something onto this. That would have, I guess, made sense, as this feels like a playset, but I'm glad they didn't. I just think it looks cleaner without it. It's one of the simplest builds in LEGO Star Wars history though. It's just a bunch of like very blocky pieces. It frankly looks like it's from, I don't know, 2001. Like, it looks old. But yeah, I'm not really sure if these are based on anything specific. If they weren't here, I wouldn't care that much. They just feel extra to me. The real star of the show for the promo though, outside of the figures, is going to be the KE-8 Enforcer here. This thing is very interesting choice, to say the least. Now, my real first thought as I laid my eyes upon this for the first time is, where the heck is that thing from? And it turns out it's from, of course, Attack of the Clones. You can see it very briefly in the background on Kamino as Obi-Wan walks around with a couple of the Kaminoans there, and it's not crazy notable. You know, it's certainly not something I would have ever expected or thought they would make. It's not something that I really remembered, or if you showed me, I could have picked out of a lineup. You know, it just is that niche. It's incredible that they would even think to make this, in my opinion. Now, to my knowledge, there's one other place that this shows up in Star Wars media, and that's in Star Wars Battlefront 2 from 2017, and you can get a much better look at it there, but you can't actually see who's piloting it, so they just have clone troopers to pilot it in this set, and I'm not sure if that's proper or not. I would assume it would be like a Kaminoan piloting it just to watch over the clones, not a clone watching over the clones, but who knows? It's certainly something that is not shown in detail in Episode 2. With that in mind, I've got a guinea pig here in one of the clone cadets, and the windscreen piece can just be pulled straight down. It opens plenty to give you so much space to put your hand in there and place the minifig inside. So yeah, very simple process. He fits right in, and you can even leave his hands out. So that's quite a bit of space in there for one of your clone cadets. I'm pretty impressed by that. And let's see, I didn't really look at the back side of it. It looks like it's covered with some of the sand blue at the back. So I think that's a pretty nice color. You can see a lot of translucent blue on this build as well, even in areas that kind of get covered up when you close that. The shaping overall is very clean, especially on the top. You have this no stud look, and it just is so smooth looking. Now, my favorite part of the build actually was this grill area on the back of the KE8 Enforcer. So you've got kind of the engines and maybe some like heat exhaust, I don't know, but just the process of that going together was very cool, where they kind of flipped it upside down so that you could attach it in a way where it's going to show properly on the back. And I just thought that was pretty cool. Now, on either side of that, you've got the jets that actually give propulsion to the KE8 Enforcer, that little blue coming out of the bottom there. And they actually can rotate 360 degrees, so you can point them to the back and have it make the thing fly forward, or point them forward and have it make the thing fly back and away from the camera there. I just love that these are able to spin. They don't spin together, so they are like independent of one another, but it is something that still works very well. Love the look of them too. Super clean. Now, the area below that, according to Wikipedia at least, is where you're going to find your manipulator arms and your electroshock stun devices, so nothing that's going to hurt our clone troopers too bad if they need some corrective action. But this arm can also swing down 90 degrees. It can really go all the way back 180 degrees if you'd like, but realistically in universe, this is what the KE8 Enforcer is really supposed to look like. And I do wish it was built in a way that it could actually stand on its own like this, because it would be so cool if it was displayed like this. I couldn't find any reference material showing that this is like a proper actual landed position. I guess we can just assume it is and take it for what it's worth. To me, it's kind of whatever there. I just really wish there was some sort of included stand or something that allowed you to properly display this thing in an upright position where it's actually watching the clones and doing something other than being landed. By the way, I do think it was pretty cool that they included the light underneath the cockpit. And last kind of note, proportionally to what you see in Attack of the Clones, the whole bottom section of the Enforcer here feels a little bit too long. I do wish it was a bit stubbier, a bit shorter. It just feels out of proportion when you compare it to what you see in universe. It certainly doesn't look bad on the Lego set, but what looks good and bad isn't necessarily what's accurate or inaccurate, right? Now, obviously, this may go down as an all-time great gift with purchase, as it's a really cool, unique build and 3 exclusive minifigs, where in the past, in the first half of the 2010s, you would have only gotten one of those minifigs as a polybag. Like, this is the better way to do May 4th promos by far, and I hope to see more stuff like this in the future. This is what they need to keep doing. Please, I know you're listening. Do more things like this. For the love of God, do not go back to the dark ages of May 4th promos. This is so much better than what we were getting, and I'm so glad that I rightfully complained about it for years until they started doing stuff like this. This is peak. Now, the problem people have with such a great set being a gift with purchase is that they inherently want more than one, because this one, of course, lends itself to army building, given that it's clone troopers. So did last year's droid carrier. And I look at this one as so niche that they would have never released it as a full retail set. And it's very much a double-edged sword. Lego has made a promo so good that you want more than one. That's probably also part of Lego's game, let's be honest. But, like, that's a good thing that they made something so good that you're upset that it's hard to get. I would rather have that be your issue than literally the May 4th promo just suck every year, right? Like, come on, we can all reason through that it's better to have a good promo that you really wish you could buy more of than to just keep getting bad promos every year. We literally got 3 May 4th minifigs in one set. This is what I've been waiting for.
Hey, finally!
That's what we've been waiting for!
Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed, and you can check out more LEGO Star Wars May 2025 set reviews on the end screen now.